Good morning, friends. We are out here in Robbers Roost, headed out to do the Great Gallery today. This is a pictograph panel, one of the most famous ones out there that's been reproduced in a number of museums, including, I believe, the Museum of Modern Art in New York. It's about a 200-foot long panel, a whole bunch of figures, different designs on it, and there are other panels on the canyon walls as we're going up to it, as well as, I am told, a dinosaur track. It's about 7.5 miles round trip. That's not counting side excursions and whatnot. So I'll give you a total mileage at the end here. But it's a beautiful day, a little bit slower start than expected. Driving in, I got a migraine, so I had to pull over next to some friendly cows and close my eyes for a bit, but feeling good and happy to be out here. It is a Friday, it is towards the end of April. Beautiful day, should get a little warm later on in the day, and thunderstorms in the forecast for tomorrow and Sunday. So I wanted to be sure that I got out today and got some adventures in that I might not be able to do if the road gets soaked or if weather conditions aren't looking good. As always, check the weather, be prepared, bring your water, bring your sunscreen, all of those good things, and happy you are coming along on an adventure with me today. Let's focus on the trail. Sal Mountains, heading over there to the left. Tips of the Henry Mountains peeking out over here to the right. I believe this is Horseshoe Canyon down below us, previously known as Barrier Canyon. I'll give you some more history on that as the hike progresses. Trail is very well marked so far. Rocks lining along the sides, easy to follow here. And if you're crossing slick rock and it seems to disappear, next little sandy bit, and even some of the slick rock, you've got, again, trail marked by these rocks. And I see a cairn up here. So far, very easy trail to follow. Starting to get our first good views of the canyon. Down below, we're descending into that. Over 1,000 feet of elevation change on this trail. Okay, we have made it down to the bottom of the canyon, heading upstream. First panel we're looking for is going to be on the left here in a bit, called High Panel. Great day. Got one couple ahead of me. Started as I was getting my bags ready, and one couple that pulled up just as I was getting ready to start. I'm guessing they'll pass me since I'm taking time to film. But right now, it's solitude, my friends. See our first view of High Panel just up here. High Panel was a nice little appetizer of what is to come. Just a little taste, my friends. I missed the dinosaur track on the way down. I'll look for it again, but was pleased. I was worried I'd miss High Panel as well. But the trail and the cairns take you right to it. And Road Trip Ryan says it's about 10 minutes hiking once you reach the bottom of the canyon floor. And I got there in almost exactly 10 minutes. So, good little beta to have. Very cool to see. On to the next one. When I say on to the next one, I can see it over here already. Beautiful flowers out right now. April showers truly are bringing May flowers.
Convinced some humans to feed them.
Yes.
And they started hanging out together. Over a 2,000-year period, those wolves became dogs, hanging out with their human
That was Horseshoe Panel. It was really cool. There was a park volunteer there because we're in Canyonlands National Park is extended to encompass all of these a couple decades ago. Put the exact date on the screen. But Jim was giving me the whole history. Well, maybe not the whole history, but just dropped so much knowledge. One, there are 3 dogs in that panel. You can tell they're dogs because their tails curl over their backs. They're the only animals in North America that is the case. Wolves hold them straight out or down. Cats hold them straight back. So it was really neat to see dogs in there. My grandmother, who raised dogs and judged them, would love that fact. Then he shared a whole bunch of history about the research papers that have been coming out in the last few years about the dog populations. Fascinating. I'm going to go have to read up on that. The other, finding out about the age. So that first panel, High Panel we came to, is possibly the oldest panel in the canyon. And it could be 9,000 years old. That would not be exaggeration, although we don't know exactly how old it is. And it is so high up there because that is where the floor of the canyon was 9,000 years ago. So it wasn't a thing of ladders or scaffolds. People were painting at ground level, and then it keeps eroding. And after 10 millennia, makes sense that they would be high up. Also was interesting to learn that as water in the floor of the canyon leaches in to the sandstone, pulls out, I want to say calcium carbonate, but whatever the panel or the compound is, that kind of holds it all together. So you'll see nice smooth sections, and then where the floor was at the time, as it erodes away and the water goes away, then that's all going to break and flake off. So it's just some really interesting facts. The other thing that I learned from Jim, which I think is fascinating, is over time, the most complex images that we see in rock art are the oldest. And they've gotten simpler over time. So the painting is often the oldest, or you have painting and packed together, and then they get simpler, and the painting turns into the pecking or the petroglyphs as we get closer to the modern era. So absolutely fascinating. So thrilled to run into Jim. Jim, if you see this, thank you very much for teaching me so many things, and really could have spent all day chatting with you. But now we're headed down. Our next panel is the Alcove, which is about 15 minutes up canyon, according to Road Trip Ryan. And it's nice we are in the shade for a bit. One big alcove. All right, that is saying not a trail up. Don't know if there is a trail to get closer to these. I see 2 cairns over here. If it's possible, I'll do it. Otherwise, we will respect not getting closer. Okay, these 2 cairns. See another one over here. Oh, and one up there. So we are going to be able to get closer. Look at how worn in the trail is right here, cutting through Don't know how much of that is from water erosion coming down, but just feet coming through, you can tell how much our foot traffic can impact a spot like this. Oh, this is such a bummer. People are carving their names in here, along with this amazing old art. If you come down here, please don't do that. Just over the images of places. Not smart, people. Me no me gusta. More images here along the back wall. You can tell there's been rock fall. That's what I'm walking on right here. I wonder how many images are down below. Although, down here where it opens up, there aren't any down low. Been so focused on this art. Look at this view out from the alcove. Hey, we are leaving Alcove Panel. Have just hit 3 miles to here. So onward, I think our next stop is the Great Gallery. Turn around, look back, there's the gallery, our alcove gallery right back there. We should be getting close to the Great Gallery up ahead. Done 3.93 miles to this point, including sidetracks. Just looked up from crossing the wash there onto the sandy part. I can see the Great Gallery panel ahead of us in that alcove. Cool. Wow. Check that out. Almost looks like an angel. And down below, there's these painted lines falling along right along there. So from what I'm calling the angel, it's been some rock fall. The trail continues along back towards the main section of the gallery. Well, I would say the Great Panel not only lives up to its name, it exceeds the name. Great? In my book, more like super amazing, phenomenally, really amazingly great. Awesome should be thrown in there too. Beautiful to see the size of the figures. I need to go look, but some of them are at least 6 feet high, if not more. The detail that's in them and just the sheer number as they span across. You can see where there's been rockfall that's probably taken out other pieces of the art that used to be there. So simply spectacular. Really been an amazing day down here. Hit 4.4 miles and now got the hike back. Oh, and I see Jim coming this way, so I get to thank him in person again and tell him about all the dogs I saw. Up ahead on the left, you can start to see our trail where we will exit the canyon back up to the car. So our time down here in the canyon bottom is almost to an end. The way back up, I'm going to hope to find the dinosaur track. Spend a little bit of time looking for it if it's not immediately obvious on the way up. Just starting up the trail, leaving the canyon bottom behind. Well, we've got stones in a circle right here, but it looks like it may, if it is the dinosaur track, sand has filled it in. So this is one possibility. We know why I missed it. I was distracted by these cacti that were blooming over here. So we'll see if another one appears that looks likely, but I think that was probably it. Just a little bit to go and we'll be back at the car, where I will do a debrief. Looks like that was probably our dinosaur track back there, but it looks like it's filled in with sand and some mud. So I didn't want to spend the time trying to clean all that out, but good to know that it is there. And we know why I missed it. I was distracted by the beautiful flowering cacti that were on the other side of the trail on the way down. I can definitely feel the weather changing. Tomorrow is supposed to be thunderstorms, as is the next day. And our nice blue sky has gone away. You can see a front starting to come in. Temperature has dropped. Wind has picked up a little bit. So glad we got this one in today. Trailhead and cars are back in sight. Almost there, my friends. We'll do a debrief from the car once I've got gear off. All right, and tag back to the car. My watch is saying 7.97 miles total on this hike for me, just under 8 miles. The official bulletin board over there says it's 7 miles to the Great Gallery. So I think by the time you add in the side treks, walking around to take in the rock art, and then my little side treks of running back and forth for the camera when I did use the tripod, makes sense, just under 8 miles. Great little hike. The start of the hike goes down an old road that was put in 1929, so fairly nice grade. And then once you're in the canyon, you're walking up the wash. There's been some recent rain, so the ground was actually fairly firm, at times a little damp and a little slippery, but it wasn't too bad of a sand slog. And you do go up canyon, so you gain a little bit of elevation as you get up to the Great Gallery, lose a little bit coming back down, and then you've got your hike out. All told, very happy I did it today. Feeling good. I'm in good spirits. I've got lots of energy, even though I had the migraine earlier. So I would give this 10 out of 10 or 11 out of 10 even. The rock art was just spectacular, superb, sublime, all those other wonderful words. As I said, I think Great Gallery actually is underselling how amazing it is. And realizing that some of these things are 9,000 years old, and reading the sign here, they found evidence and parts of human history down here dating back to 11,000 years. So just amazing to be walking in those footsteps, although realizing how much the canyons eroded over those time, really walking below those old footsteps. As always, friends, thank you for coming along. It means a lot to me that you watch these adventures, and when I'm down hiking solo, I don't feel solo, just because I know that others will be sharing this with me, at least digitally. So thanks for coming along. If you haven't had a chance and you liked it, would you mind hitting that subscribe button? We're just at about 700 subscribers right now, so 300 or a smidge more than 300 to go to hit that 1,000 mark that I'm really hoping to hit this year. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for your encouragement. Wishing you grand adventures, and until next time, friends, happy trails.